So here we are. The block is now on the banker, ready for working. As you can see, I've marked him out. This is the front elevation, that's his face, and the side of Robert, that's the side elevation. And basically this drawing is full size on the block as you see it. The main reason for marking him out on the block is to position him in the stone on the block. Some of this will go, of course, but the idea initially is so that when I start to work, I know approximately where everything is. The first stages of this carving will be to what we call blocking out. So large areas will be taken out rather than using hammer and chisel. We will probably saw this out. Okay, two reasons: A, it means that we don't have so much waste on the stone, and two, it saves some time and effort to do it. So this section here and this section here, as you can see in the front, will be taken out in large portions, and that will give us one elevation of his hat. Once we've done that, the sides, we do then the front and back. The same thing applies. So what we then have is a basic shape of the hat, his crown and the brim. And from that point I will actually work the shape of the hat from the top, leaving everything else, all the stone underneath. Basically, very simply, because as you can see, and I have already had a question asked me about this, how am I going to do this hat? Well, we work down to the brim, everything underneath the brim stays in full stone. And the reason for that is so it has more support, because the brim is actually quite vulnerable. Okay, there will be a certain amount of stone that I will leave. There will be a certain amount of cheating involved as far as keeping the thickness of the brim, but basically the idea really is that we keep it as near as real as possible. So we work down to the top, to the brim. I will finish the whole hat off on the top surface, and then from the brim down I will then start to block out again. That section there, taking out the full stone. And then from there we do what's called a roughing out, and that means that I will be roughly shaping him up, so he will have a rough shape of his face from front, side elevation, and of course the back. Once all that's roughed out, we then go into fine detail, and that comes much later. But the idea really is firstly to get the rough shape out of the block, and then once we've done that, the fine detail is relatively simple to do.